Hi, I'm Latrina Patrick. I'm a nonprofit consultant. My firm is Greater Vision Consulting. What I do is I work with nonprofit organizations to help them build their capacity. I do that through training and development services, I do that through program development, and I also help with grant writing. So those are some of the things that I do, but to find out more about my background and some of the services I offer, I encourage you to go to my website at www.greatervisionconsulting.com. What I want to talk to you today about is the mastering the art of storytelling. Storytelling is a very powerful tool when it comes to writing grants. I was a reporter for about 10 years or so, and I worked primarily in television news. And one of the things that we needed to be able to do was to tell a story in a minute and 30 seconds. Because of that skill set and because I did that on a daily basis, I now consider storytelling my superpower. I like to teach people how to do that. And one of the things I've learned in all my years in writing grants and reviewing grants is that the key to getting grants is to know how to tell your story. Because at the end of the day, what you're trying to get from your donor and what you're trying to get from the federal agency you may be applying to is to compel them to write you a check or to compel them to award you grant money. And the only way you're going to do that, once you get past all the logistics and the formalities of submitting the proposal the proper way, is that you have to be able to compel them with your writing. And that's what I want to talk to you about. So in order to master the art of storytelling, you just need to, number one, be willing to do it, because it's a skill set. Not everybody will be able to do it, but most people can, and I can teach you how to do that. But today I want to offer you 3 key strategies to help you when it comes to telling stories. And the first thing that you want to do when you're trying to tell a story, primarily in your grant proposal, is identify the story that you want to tell. And I say that because some organizations are vast and they do a lot. Most are not just one-dimensional. A lot of nonprofits do a lot of different things. And so it can be very difficult to determine what it is that you want to tell in any particular grant proposal. And so what I encourage you to do is identify the story you want to tell. Now let me give you an example. One of my favorite nonprofits is Habitat for Humanity, primarily because I love the work that they do, but they originated in my hometown in Sumter County, Georgia. And Habitat for Humanity, the primary goal with them is to build affordable homes for low-income families. But they're trying to tell a story, and depending on where they want to get their funding from, there's a lot they can tell, but I think the core story there would be the impact they're having on those families. Not so much that we build all these great houses, because they do, and it's a wonderful thing, but that thread there that's compelling to most people, I would imagine, is the impact that those homes are having on the families. So I would say to you, identify what your central story is in your organization and focus on that. The second thing is you want to pick 3 points. Whenever I've coached people into creating public speeches, and sometimes people get nervous and they have a lot they want to share and they only have, say, 5 to 7 minutes to get it done. Well, you can't tell everything in that time period, so you have to be concise. The best way to be concise is to pick key points. And I always recommend 3 key points that you want to highlight to create your story. And so you need to do the same thing when it comes to your organization or whatever program that you're trying to get funded. Let's pick 3 key points that you really want to focus on to be able to tell that story. Make sure that you have concrete examples that you can use to demonstrate those key points. So pick 3 key things that you want to talk about, give some supporting statements, and give some concrete examples. Now, if I go back to my example using Habitat for Humanity, so instead of just being the key points that before someone had, they had a house and they didn't have a house and now they have a house, well, you can kind of look at what's different now in their lifestyle. So some concrete examples of the impact of them having that home, and that is something that can be more compelling to a funder. So that's just one simple example. I'm sure there are tons out there that are better. And then the third thing is to demonstrate why your story matters to that particular donor or that particular funding agency. So when you are asking for funds, you want to show them that they have a direct impact, and that the money that they're going to give you is going to make a big difference. So instead of just telling your story and going all the way through the story and then skipping to the big ask, well, in between the big story and the big ask, you want to be able to show them how that donation is going to have an impact. In particular, how that specific donation will help you to reduce or address the problem that you've identified all along. So you really want to be able to make that clear to them. The key to being able to do that is that anytime you're applying for funding, the main thing you want to do before you apply for any particular grant is to make sure that your organization's mission, goals, and values align with those of the organization in which you're seeking funding. So it's highly likely that you will get funded if, number one, you have a great proposal, but number two is that you have similar values, that you are presenting something to them that aligns with their values and the priorities they've already set. If you're not able to do that at a minimum, you're not going to have any success getting funding. So you want to be able to demonstrate that you have similar values and similar priorities, and that how that money that they're going to give to you is going to make an impact. So if you do those three things, identify the story you want to tell, pick 3 key points you want to highlight in that story, and then demonstrate why your story matters to that particular funding. Those are just three simple strategies that you can use to help you master the art of storytelling. Of course, that's not everything, and I am offering later on next month, actually kicking off October 16th, a new course that is designed to help you tell better stories to improve your ability to get funded for your grant writing purposes. So if you want to check out my website, there's a lot more information on there about that. That's www.greatervisionconsulting.com. I will tell you that course is going to be a 4-week course. It's going to be really intimate and an intense course, and it's 4 weeks because I really want to make sure you have hands-on experience writing grants. It makes no sense to get the theory and all of that stuff without being able to apply it. So that's going to be the real test of how much you are able to retain from that course. And then the other great thing is it's only going to be up to 12 people. So 10 to 12 people is ideal. It's going to be an intimate setting, and you'll get hands-on, and then you'll have that group dynamic. But I have much more information on the website about that, including the costs and the specifics that will be covered in that course. While you're at my website, let me ask you to do me a favor and to subscribe to my newsletter and my email updates. If you do that for a limited time, what I'm doing is that you subscribe and you will get access to a free audio teaching that I did that's specific to faith-based organizations and how they can obtain federal funds. So if you subscribe to my newsletter, you'll automatically get that. It's a 45-minute course, and I'm sure that it will be a blessing to you. If you haven't already, subscribe to my YouTube channel here on YouTube, and that's at Greater G Vision Consulting. That's my YouTube name, and I hope that you will go over to the site, check out the things that I ask you to check out. Remember, www.greatervisionconsulting.com. I'm Latrina Patrick, and I hope to see you next time.